Good evening, everybody. Good evening. So, Zombie, thank you for becoming a member again. Thanks, Zombie. Hey, everybody. This is a serious topic tonight. Okay, this is a serious topic. If you want to bullshit tonight, just go ahead and leave the chat right now. I'm just being straight up. I care about y'all, and I've been watching things, and we talked about this about what 2 weeks ago about that something was going to happen between the 8th and the 12th of March, and I never call dates. I never call dates, but I want to talk about this on a serious, serious note, folks. How many of you are prepped up to the point that you could go 20 years? And I'm asking on a serious, serious note. How many of you are prepped up that you could go 25 years? On November 23rd, 1954, 25 years, folks, after the crash, the Dow reached its pre-crash high again. 25 years, folks. Do you realize how freaking old we'd be? Why, did the banks close in 1920? Well, there was a lot of reasons. The Federal Reserve. So, 20 years. And actually, it lasted 25 years, right? 25 years. Do y'all realize in 25 years, I'd be almost 80 years old? I don't know how old y'all would be, but I know that you're real close to my age. So, when these two banks have failed, which we've all been hearing about and seeing, right? Why did depositors go pull $42 billion out of the banks? Is this the start of the domino effect? And I mean domino. I was a real estate agent when the real estate market crashed. Would we be able to recover? And how long would it take to recover, right? I mean, whoa, Lordy. And I want to bring this to you because, there's times we have fun. Like last night, we had an absolute blast. If you missed it, we had an absolute blast. But there's also times to be serious. Yeah, I hear you. In 25 years, I probably am too. But the thing is, folks, like this is a really serious situation. Good evening, stepping in it. George Mitchell, Lenora, DJ. This is a very serious situation when people that have deposited money snatched out $42 billion in one day. When we have two banks that have that the FDIC is having to step in and protect them, this is a serious situation because this could be the start of the domino effect. And folks, I don't know about y'all, but 25 years is whoa. That's what happened in the 1920s, and that's how long it took to recover. Could our economy recover quicker with the leadership we have? I highly doubt it. You know, what I want to say tonight, on a serious, serious note, is that each one of us really need to get prepped, and stay focused. Because if we see another bank, we just talked about this. What was it? Was it about last week? And I never call dates, but God led and I followed. And I said, between the 8th and the 12th, something major was going to happen with the banks because of all this intel coming in. And folks, yeah, RCX, you're right. And there's other banks. There's been major, major hacking going on. There's been hacking where people's deposits are disappearing. People's deposits are disappearing. See, me personally, I pulled out most of my 401k. I think I'm gonna pull out the rest, and then I'm gonna start pulling out my cash. But this is the thing: is if we look at Venezuela, if we look at what happened in Mexico, Mexico's dollar, their peso fell so hard that they had to remove three zeros because it wasn't worth the paper it was written on. I was in Jamaica. And y'all might remember that story from Off the Wall Prepper that I told when I traveled to Jamaica. And when I traveled to Jamaica and I was by that big burning trash can, and that man asked me, and I could tell he was very serious, and he said, "Do you have an American dollar?" And I said, "Of course I do." He said, Can I have one? Can I please have one?" I gave him American dollar, and he pulled out a wad of Jamaican dollars and threw them in the trash. And I was like, whoa. And he said, it's not worth nothing. It's garbage. It's trash. It's not backed by anything. And see, that's where we're at, folks. We also, almost a year ago, did a video on Off the Wall Prepper, and y'all might remember this, about the gold rush. We were talking about the gold rush before other channels even were thinking about it because I had done the research. God led me to do the research. And folks, all these countries have been buying up gold. Why? Because they know what's about to happen to the US petrodollar. Why is Saudi Arabia pulling back from the American dollar? Why did Russia, China, all these countries lining up, why are they pulling back from the American dollar? Because the American dollar is not backed by diddle. Nothing. Nothing. So we have a very serious situation with the domino effect. We have two down, and I believe there's going to be more than two. And once the American dollar collapses, we are going to have a very, very short amount of time. I'm talking 6 to 24 hours to get out and use those American dollars. Now, I'm not saying rush to the bank, take everything that you have, and go spend it foolishly. I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form. What I'm saying is that every single one of us need to be on point. Don't go buy the cheeseburger. Today, I'll tell you this. I was working. I said, Dragonflies, I really want a sub sandwich. She went and got a Subway. We had a coupon, buy one, get one free. Or we thought it was free. Y'all, it cost us $17 for one sandwich and two drinks. $17. There's another clue. We see what's happening with the food chain. There's another clue. And I don't think this time that the federal government, the feds, will step in, that they will step in and bail anybody out because there's nothing left to bail out. There's nothing left to bail out. The United States is at the end of its victory days. The United States is at the end of the time that we were the superior nation. It's gone. It's gone. And we should see it every time we go to the bank, every time we get a utility bill. I just talked to a lady. It broke my heart, y'all. I talked to a lady. She lives in California. She's 74 years old. And she told me that she's out collecting cans so she can buy her granddaughter a birthday gift. This is where this country is at. Our elders are struggling. Food banks are closing. Our food chain's under attack. Our water supply is freaking a mess. We all have got to take the steps. We've all got to take the steps, and there's no time for bullshit. There's time for having smiles still. There has to be balance in our lives. But I tell you what, we all better get our shit together. You don't eat anymore. You have to eat, Miss Sherry. Please don't tell me this kind of things. Oh, you don't eat out anymore. I was like, oh, I was about to get into the beans and rice. Y'all, we need to not only prep for ourselves, we need to prep for our grandchildren, our nieces, our nephews, our neighbors, because we all are in this bullshit together. And I'll tell you what, you may have something that someone else needs, and we may have to go back to the old days. And I'll tell you what, I really am not scared to go back to the old days, the old ways, the lost ways, the ways of our grandparents and our great grandparents. I'm not scared about that. What I'm scared for is our elders, our disabled, our people that are struggling right now. When they shut off food stamps and they shut off all these benefits that this country has given out like a hot potato, then you're going to see people go ballistic. You're going to see grocery store runs on top of the bank runs. And I think that the thing that we have to learn to do is to get back to basics. And I agree with you, stepping in it. I put my faith over fear every single day. And I think we all need to get our houses in order. And I'm talking from your spiritual house to your physical house that you live in. Because the time is near, my friends. I said this over a year ago, and the time is near when the American dollar and the America that we knew will be shredded to pieces. And the thing is don't be an ignorant, selfish asshole. Remember those elders that live down the street from you. Remember those disabled people that are, going to be suffering. They're going to be scared. And it's us, the new crusaders, as my mother puts it. We are the crusaders of 2023. We are the truth seekers. We are God's children. And we all have to come together. And at RCX, I agree with you. We are paying our mortgage ahead. I am being very, very tight with the belt, if you know what I mean. I'm really watching what we're doing. I'm prepping up wood because if everything fails, you folks, the first thing you're going to want to do is to figure out a way to preserve that food for the long freaking haul. And sometimes I don't understand when Dragonflies is in there cannon, but I get it overall. We're going to have to learn to fish and forage and hunt and process our own animals. Foraging could be so, so important. And also, water, water, water. Find those waterways, find those lakes, those rivers, those ponds. Store water. I have to thank Stepping In It and her husband once again. Big, huge prepper hugs. Because this rain catch opened my eyes and it helped me so much here on our homestead. With this bum knee, I couldn't do it. But you know what? With this bum knee, I'm going to do the next one myself. And I appreciate Jeff and Stepping In It very, very much for coming out here and for her husband taking the time to help me because I do have a hard time with the knee. But you know what? God leads and we follow. We all have to stay centered and focused. Yep. And very true. And we got to do what we can for each other. Whatever we can do for each other. Go support those local yard sales. Go support those mom and pop shops that are closing up left and right. Folks here in this part of Missouri, in just like a month, all the thrift stores are closing their doors, locked up. One of the biggest ones in West Plains, Missouri. Huge. I'm talking 2 stories, packed to the brim with all kinds of vendors. The store is closing. Here in Willow Springs, where we live outside of Willow Springs, 4 of them gone. We have no thrift stores left except one. That's it. Folks, we have to support these people. If you keep supporting just the big box, trust and believe they'll have us against the wall. They'll have us against the wall because then you are going to have to line up to get what you want. They're gonna line us up and say this is what you got to do, and if you don't get this and you don't get 75 of these and you don't do this, you can't get this. Or they'll start handing out ration cards. A lot of people are seeing fuel prices go back up. How many of you? Oh, what the hell? What in the hell? Yep, it's starting, folks. It's seriously starting on a real note. On a real freaking note. When they control how much money you can get out of a bank, it is going to be a freaking domino effect. Y'all, I would rather, there's an old saying, if you don't have it in your hands, you don't own it. And that's the truth. When I went and got my 401k, it was supposed to be a simple, quick process, 7 days. It took 33 days for me to get my money. Why are they holding it back? Because they don't have it. Why are they doing this? Because they know it's about to fall. Yep. Yep. Very, very true. It's happening all over, Stepping In It. I think the big banks will hide it as long as they can. And then when it crumbles, wow, when it crumbles, y'all, it's going to be a damn disaster because many people can't even, can't even pay their bills on time right now. And I'll tell you what, do you think the landlord or the mortgage company or the electric company is going to give a shit if you have utilities or if you've paid your mortgage. Nope. They're going to buy you up. They're going to take what you got. See, we keep wanting a new vehicle, but I'll tell you what, I keep holding back. I keep holding back because that old vehicle sitting out there gets us from point A to point B. Going in debt scares the shit out of me. Yep. Why stepping in it? Why? Tell me why. The banks know. The banks know. And I'll tell you, when I was a loan officer in Dallas, Texas, before the real estate market crashed, before B paper disappeared, I knew I had a gut feeling. Look at what the cat drug in. Doug, what's up, man? What's up? Glad to see you. I'm really glad to see y'all. Folks, before the real estate market crashed, we were giving loans out to people on subprime loans that had no social security number, no income verification, no residential verification, nothing. And they were getting loans for $250,000 to $500,000 like hotcakes. I worked for a broker, not a bank. And so we would put it out on the internet and we'd get offers. Before that, 60 days prior, it would take forever to get a loan officer. Right before the real estate market crashed, I was a loan officer. And before it crashed, I would get 17 offers because they knew. They knew they were overselling. See, ladies and gentlemen, protect the most important things in your life. One of them is having a roof over your head. You can get by. You can get by without electricity. Believe that. Our ancestors did it. You can get by without a refrigerator. You can get by without a computer and cell phone. But without a place to live, without a place to hunker down, that could be serious detrimental. Yep, I agree, zombie. Get the seeds while you can get the seeds. Get things that you can use that will go forward with you in the future. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Teresa. It's really getting to the point, folks, and all it's going to take is one major thing, and I think that these two banks failing is the start of the dominoes. And you all know when you were a kid or the domino effect when it gets going, it's like the snowball effect. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's all right, Scan. Everybody put your boots on the ground. Do the dang thing. Don't give up and don't give in. Yep. Yeah, transportation's important. You could always live in a car if you really that's true. If you really couldn't afford it. No, the banks were open, then it crashed, and then people were literally pushing wheelbarrows of money, and it didn't matter at that point. The American dollar was gone. Um, but this time it will be much worse, right? This time it'll be much worse because the American dollar is not backed by diddle. Back then it was backed by silver and gold. Now it's not backed by anything. It's clad, it's paper, it's bullshit. There's nothing backing it. What's up, Dave? Oh. Yes. And when that panic well, I mean $42 billion in one day, I would say there's some kind of panic already going on, zombie, wouldn't you? $42 billion all in one bank. See, I think there's inside scoops, and when people realize this, the big ballers, they go and they grab what they can. That's just how it is. Yep. Nice to see you. No truth in your lies. Thank you for sharing that. Yep. Oh yeah. We'll see. We think we're bad right now with a 700 to 1100% crime increase. Wait, wait until people realize all their money's gone. My stepfather, G, rest in peace, G. He lost a lot of money when all that stuff was going on with 401ks and the stock market. So imagine if it completely crumbles. People were devastated. But imagine if it all crumbles and it just Then what? That's good. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. See, they already slid in stuff, and we all should have seen these warning signs. But now, yes, yes, and we talked about this too. Also stepping in it. Everybody better get a paper copy of your bank accounts, your 401k, your life insurance policies, all of that stuff. You better have paper copies because the FDIC actually stated that if you could not prove it, they can take up to 6 months to get you your money. So imagine if all these banks crumble and the 401ks crumble and everything crumbles the way that it's leaning toward, then what will happen, folks? Huh. Oh, they're saying 10 years now. It was 6 months. So, see, they're changing things. 10 years. Can you survive 10 years without your money? Whoa. Keep going, Dave. Keep going, man. That's awesome. Keep going. Awesome scan. Yep. Remember when my mom was on the live and she said, everybody get a backup, birth certificate, social security, VA benefits, whatever you have that's only digital, get a backup copy. And most definitely get a copy of your bank accounts. Get a copy because they said you have to prove it. Your gas prices went up, George. Hello, Chrisanne. Hello, Lenora. Um, I'm not going to stay on real long, but folks, yeah, yep, and that's fact. That's a fact. Thank you, stepping in it. That's a fact. That's a big fact. And I'll tell you what, folks, we all better put our boots on the ground. Think your basics. Think long haul. Oh my gosh, think 15 years. Think 15 years minimum. Think 15 years of preps. 15 years of food. 15 years of bartering. 15 years of maybe our society never going back to the way it was. And that's huge. We've also seen all these closures of retail stores and CEOs dropping off like flies. Hmm. Here's your signs, folks. Here's your signs. I'd do something with the quickness. I would do something. Like I said, if it's not in your hands, you don't own it. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to go take out all that money. I'm not going to. That's not my responsibility. What I will tell you is that go talk to a financial advisor immediately and get something in place immediately and get what you can. Have something in your hand so that when it does crash, that you're not sitting there to the point that it'll take you over the deep end. That it'll take you over the deep end. And I think many people will go over the deep end. I mean, we're seeing whole families wipe each other out because of the things that are going on around this country. So, I mean, honestly, folks, think about your spiritual well being. Think about what you need to do and definitely pay your debt down as much as you can. Pay ahead on stuff. Be prepared to go down to necessities. That's just really important to be able to go down to necessities. We don't always need a freaking pizza. Just like the sub, I almost fell out of my chair today. I just wanted a sub. I guess I'll make a sub at home. And that's if we can still afford lunch meat and meat. So y'all be prepared. Like we've been talking for over a year and a half now. And you think that the powers that be give a rat's ass? Nah. Nah. Yep. Yep. And we've seen. And then, the situation with all these derailments, at first I thought, I think sometimes they exploit our fear. I think a lot of times they exploit people's fear. One thing happens and they escalate it to take people's eyes off the real things that are going on. So they got everybody looking to the sky at some balloons, and then the water situation happened. They got everybody looking at Ohio. And now the bank runs are happening. See, they distract people from really what's going on to give them time to do what's happening right now. See, this stuff with the uh, banks and all this, it started months ago. What's up, Chris? What's up? Top of the evening to you. You know, this stuff started months ago, and it's going to get worse. But now, behind the banks, what else is there? What else are they distracting us to the banks now? What else is happening? You know, we have the rumors of war. I talked to an old fella. I have to tell you this. He said, "Let me tell you something, KJ." I said, "What's that?" He said, "I was a bomber. I was a pilot in WW2. Now, this is an old fella." He said, "It's not going to stop." He said, "Concentrate on what's important." I said, "Go ahead. I'm listening." He said, "Concentrate on what you can do, not what you can't do." And I said, "Yes, sir." And I truly believe that we have to concentrate on what we can do, not what we can't control everything, but we have to concentrate on the things we can do. And the things that we can do is finding that local mag, getting those connections of real people, not on social media, not on the YouTube, not on Fakebookie, but real people that you can reach out and touch. And they can reach out and touch you. And you all can help each other. That did come out right. But you all can reach out and help each other. Like a real local mag. It's people that you can depend on. And people that maybe you don't think you want in your mag, but they got skills. Those are what we need to find. And you need to go to your churches. You need to go to your talk to your guy at the gas station. You need to talk to whoever. But get active and do something that you can do and quit worrying about the nonsense that you can't take care of. Hmm. Well, my friend was stepping in it. She was prior Army. I just talked to her a couple nights ago, and she said something real funny's going on because she was a conductor and an engineer, and she's prior Army. And she was telling me about those hot boxes that alert the trains to slow down. And when a hot box gets alerted, you have to slow down to less than 30 miles an hour. And she said one of the hot boxes outside of East Palestine reported on her connections that she has still in the train industry was not working. She said in all the time she worked for the railroad, that did not happen ever. And she worked for them for many years. So there's something funky going on. But see, if we have inside sabotage in our own country, what the hell's next? What the hell's next? Are the sleepers waking up? Is that a conspiracy or is that true? Hmm. We had a lot of chicken cold. We have a lot of trout that were cold. We have deer running around with who knows what kind of diseases, and our food supply is under attack. The water is under attack. What's next, folks? What I'll tell you, what's next for me is that I'm going solar. I'm trying to get off grid, and I am taking the steps. I'm doing the legwork, and that's what we need to do. Is worry about what we not worry, but be concerned about what we can do, not all the bullshit that we can't do. Yep. And I would definitely be alert on your food labels. Be alert on what you're getting. Wow. Yep. Nice to see you, Scruffy. I watched your video today. Very interesting. Very interesting, Scruffy Scrubs. I'll be watching you. Let me see what y'all are saying here. You're welcome. If somebody would drop Zombie Prepper's link, Zombies in the chat, and he is a featured channel this month. Please go support him. And also, somebody drop Dragonfly's link, please. She is a featured channel this month. She's doing the dang thing. People that are doing the dang thing. We have 8 or 9 channels right now, but we're just going to promote the 2 that are here or 3 that are here. And I would like to go ahead and I would like to add and nominate Scruffy Scrubs for doing the dang thing. And so I'll be adding you, Scruffy Scrubs. If somebody drops Scruffy Scrubs link, very knowledgeable lady, very down to earth. Somebody drops Scruffy Scrubs link. Welcome to the Do the Dang Thing for the month of March. You are one of our featured channels now. You'll be on our main channel page. And welcome to Do the Dang Thing featured channels. That's our new way of giving back to the community. We'll have about 10 to 12 channels, and I've been watching you, Scruffy, and I like what you're saying, and you're down to earth and you're real. So somebody please drop and welcome everybody to Scruffy Scrubs Do the Dang Thing featured channels this month for the month of March. We're glad you're here, and we're glad you're part. And you're invited on the 19th if you'd like to come on live and share some of your knowledge. I have several of the featured channels coming on the 19th. We'd love to have you. Thank you very much for dropping the Scruffy Scrubs. You're welcome. You're welcome. People are doing the dang thing, and I think that we need to lift them up. We need to not only sub to them, but we really need to concentrate and listen to what they're saying and what they're doing. Thank you, my mods. Thank you so much. Nice to see you, Beth D. All right, folks. I had a long day, and my back has been on the brinks. So I'm going to play one song. Let's stay centered and focused. Let's stay centered and focused. I'll see you all Sunday night for Prepper Trivia. God bless each and every one of you. From our little piece of heaven here in the Ozarks to wherever you're at, make today count. And stay focused on the things you can do. And let the things you can't do go to the wayside. Don't get so wrapped up in news that you're causing yourself health and heart issues. It's not freaking worth it. Stay spiritually centered, folks. This goes out to our one and only that's been going through a lot right now. Betty, we love you and we're lifting you in prayer, thoughts, light, and hope. And this goes out to you, Betty. I'm glad to see you back in the chats, but I know you're going through a lot right now, and I'll reach out to you, hon. Everybody, keep raising each other up and know that we're children of God and that God leads and we follow. God bless y'all. By His grace, we're saved.
I have walked through the darkest valley. I was lost, couldn't find my way. But then I heard Him from within, He who died for my sins. He spoke my name, then I saw His face. Yes, I've seen His eternal glory. I felt His hand when I was astray. I never knew until then what His love truly meant. I was lost, but now I'm found by His grace. By His grace. The burning flame within my soul, the fire in my is always there through hope and despair. And when I